Yeah, it looks good on my end.
All right, you have the floor. Where if you could wrap up at about 9:20, 9:25, that would be great.
Yes, I will be quick, I promise.
No, take your time. We have to get through that 1 hour, so you take your time.
All right. So today I'm going to talk to you about AmeriCorps and specifically the VISTA program. There are a couple other programs which I will let you know about, but I mainly work with the VISTA program. The VISTA program provides opportunities for Americans of all ages and backgrounds to give their time and talent to get things done. As she said before, I go by Gabby. So I'm Gabby. You can go to the next slide.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, hold on. Sometimes likes to be difficult. There you go.
So I am a University of Alabama alumni. I started out actually in curriculum development. I thought I wanted to work in schools. I started out teaching pre-K on military bases. My husband is Air Force, so we have spent a lot of time moving around. As you know, that can create its challenges with moving from state to state and certifications and things like that. So after a few years of teaching, I moved over to recruiting for the Air Force. I worked with officer accessions, and I worked out of the Midwest. We were stationed in Ohio for quite a while. In 2022, I moved over to recruiting for AmeriCorps VISTA. This is the first time that AmeriCorps has put a lot of time and effort into recruiting. As things, our numbers are down as well. So they have kind of revamped a program in which we can help spread the word of what AmeriCorps is. Because I'm going to be quite honest, I graduated years ago. I graduated with a degree that I didn't know what I was going to use it for. So I was in a position, as a lot of these students are, I wish in high school, things like this had been available. Opportunities like AmeriCorps had been readily known. AmeriCorps has been around for a really long time, but it's really not known all of the benefits of doing a year of service. So I cover Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky. I am currently stationed with my family in Oklahoma City. And I did put my email on here. I'm going to give you guys a lot of information. If you want to jot my email down, I would be more than happy to send you stuff. We have all kind of recruiting flyers. We have information about our programs. I'd be more than happy to send them to each of the schools. So if you ever had a student that came in that was interested, I'd be happy to send it. Okay, next slide. So what is AmeriCorps? AmeriCorps is federally funded national service program. It uses service and volunteerism to address the community's compelling needs through a wide range of activities, such as building affordable housing and responding to natural disasters. I think responding to natural disasters is probably the part of AmeriCorps that people know best, because it's things like Habitat for Humanity, all the natural disaster reliefs when like hurricanes, tornadoes happen. Those are the people that come in are AmeriCorps members. Members are the people who serve within these programs to meet those unmet needs. AmeriCorps members can choose what program by simply applying on AmeriCorps.gov. Okay, next slide. So as an AmeriCorps member, you can choose the service opportunity that aligns best with your passion or your experience or even just your interest. A lot of opportunities do have a background where you want the college education. However, there are more and more that are coming available for high school seniors. AmeriCorps members serve directly with nonprofit organizations and governmental organizations to tackle our nation's most pressing challenges. AmeriCorps opportunities fit into these main focus areas. We focus on education. We focus on economic opportunity, veterans and military families, disaster services, healthy futures, and environmental stewardship. So what are the different AmeriCorps programs? like I say, I'm going to speak a lot on Vista. However, AmeriCorps is branched off into an umbrella type structure. So AmeriCorps holds Vista State and National and NCCC. Then there's the AmeriCorps Seniors, which are programs that are for people that are 55 and older. They can serve. All of the other programs, NCCC is 18 to 26. State and National is all ages. Vista is also all ages. AmeriCorps State and National has full-time and not full-time, where Vista is 100%. You're giving a year of service. You could be serving up to 330 hours in the State and National program. You will inspire learning, protect the environment, create economic opportunities, respond to natural disasters, and improve the well-being and honor veterans. NCCC is the one that's for 18 to 26-year-olds who are looking to gain a valuable experience while helping others. This is things like Habitat for Humanity, the ones that go and they build entire communities. So their lodging and travel is covered while they work with a team. So they travel as a full-time member in those programs, supporting community service projects. So I am going, like I say, talk about the VISTA program. With AmeriCorps Vista, in the program, you will support an organization to make sustainable change in areas that affect poverty, including education, access to education, public health, climate, access to benefits, and more. The mission of AmeriCorps Vista is to engage members in the full-time service to strengthen organizations that eliminate or alleviate poverty through mobilization of community volunteers and resources. They want to create sustainable solutions through indirect service to some of the most challenging issues that our community faces. Opportunities to serve in AmeriCorps Vista are for 12 months, or there's a lot of programs that have summer opportunities that last 8 to 10 weeks. So why do people choose to serve? You want to find your best fit. You want to be a part of something bigger. You want to grow professionally and personally. That's the biggest thing that AmeriCorps Vista offers students is their professional development, especially high school seniors that come out of school and don't know what they want to do. Maybe they do need that gap year. Some of us do. I'm going to be honest, I probably should have taken one. But it helps them grow professionally in ways that just taking a year off can't give you. You can't go into, you know, like the food industry, or you can't go into retail and get some of these professional development opportunities that you get with AmeriCorps. And then you're going to receive benefits for your service, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. You can go to the next one.
I'm trying, I don't know what it's doing. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. So annually, an average of about 7,000 AmeriCorps members serve with VISTA projects, supporting initiatives to fight poverty and helping an organization to expand its capacity to make a change. By serving with VISTA projects, you'll be in an office type setting in most of the projects. And service in activities include learning how to run fundraising events, learning grant writing, conducting outreach, research opportunities, learning how to recruit for volunteers. So a lot of like exactly what you did with the senior, you would have a VISTA member that would have done all of that grunt work because that was their responsibility, was to recruit people to come into the community, because ultimately a VISTA member is trying to make your community a better place. They want to have a VISTA program for several years, and then they want to be able to taper off from that VISTA program and still have the capacity to sustain that project. And they're also going to learn how to develop policies and learn marketing strategies. So a little like tidbit of information, I have a friend who is in public relations, and she
said that at her school, she went to Bowling Green, and she said that everybody had to do an AmeriCorps, either a summer outreach or NCCC, because in public relations, you graduate with that type of degree and you need some type of experience. So AmeriCorps, a year of service, it gives you those types of experience that jobs are looking for. So we're going to cover the general basics of the VISTA program. There are opportunities to serve annually and full-time. Like I said, there's also summer opportunities. All programs have a focus on anti-poverty, indirect service, and sustainable development. You must be 18 years. I know some high schoolers graduate at 17, but you must be 18 years or older to serve. There's no upper age limit. And there is a citizenship requirement. You must be a citizen to be eligible to serve. There are types of like international students that we can use different things to get them into the program, but it's a case-by-case basis. There is a criminal history background check. I am not saying that if you have a criminal history, you cannot be a part of AmeriCorps, because you can. There are actual programs too that take students that have been in trouble in the past, and they use this year as their building block to go back into a community, give their year, and build their credibility back. So just because you have criminal history doesn't mean that you can't apply for the program. There are projects in all 50 states, and it's a fantastic opportunity to explore a new career field, grow your network, and build new skills through unique experiences. So this is the part that all students are most excited about. So benefits. At the end of your year of service, you can choose between an education award, which is about $7,000, or a cash award. You can earn up to 2 education awards. So you can earn up to almost $14,000 in money to go to school. So high school seniors that feel like they have no opportunity, this is a really good scholarship for them. College students that have gone a couple of years and they have a lot of debt, they can use that education award to pay off student loans. Or at the end, if they have zero desire to go to school, they can take a cash award of $1,800. There is a living allowance that is provided. Members receive a bi-weekly living allowance to cover basic expenses during their term of service. The annual average is about $22,882. Now, I've recruited out of Michigan, and I fully understand the cost of living is a lot more in Michigan than it is in a lot of other places. So this living allowance is calculated by county. So if you're living in Detroit, it's going to be a little bit higher than if you're living in just a smaller area. So keep in mind that even though it says 22,000, you might make a lot more, especially if you take a project like in California and you're living in LA. Professional development. Members receive training to learn how to be community development change agents. There are also schools that employ members of national service. There are national service schools that will double the education award. You can simply do a Google search of it. Some states completely waive tuition. It all just depends on where you live and where you're wanting to go to school. Lastly, there is a non-competitive eligibility. What that means is people that want to join the federal world, being a government employee, working with nonprofits, things of those natures, they get a non-competitive eligibility for 7 years. So they do a year of service, and then for 7 years, when they apply for a job, they are going to be the first person in the stack of applicants. especially in the federal side. They look for military service, and then they look for any of those non-competitive eligibilities to move on and pick the candidate for their position. We also give a relocation allowance. If you move over 50 miles or more from home, then you're eligible for a relocation. It's a settling in allowance. It's about $750, and you get it when you get your first paycheck. The education award is you may be eligible for this education award. If you do summer, it's obviously less. You get the full stipend if you have done the entire year. It can be used to pay for higher education or repay those student loans. It can be used up for 7 years. You can also earn up to 2 full-time education awards. Like I said before, schools of national service, many colleges across the country will match the education award, so it gives you just a little bit more money to go to school. So if you are considering doing an AmeriCorps VISTA project, this is how you apply. It's not required, but it's suggested to give yourself enough time to research and create an application. It doesn't take a resume, but the application process takes a little bit of time, so you want to factor time for that. It's the same as most things. You'll have an interview process. You'll submit your application. We do a lot of, across AmeriCorps, we do a lot of Zoom opportunities. So there are webinar registrations that give you more information on how to actually get through the application process. It will give you like hot opportunities, people that are looking for the most people. And I can drop that link in the chat in just a few minutes on how to go about applying. So to start researching opportunities, you go to my.americorps.gov. You can search geographically by communities that you're interested in serving, and you can also search by the focus areas. So if your focus is education, you can search by education, you can search by community outreach, or if you simply want to stay in Michigan, that is an option, and you can search all Michigan projects. That is the website that you search your listings. And on the next slide, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is what you can go to the next one. There you go. The myamericorps.gov looks like. To search, you want to click on search listings. You can do a quick search. You can do a more advanced search. It will make you create a username and password. But where it is red, that's where you want to search listings. So doing a quick search, this is just an example. Say you're interested in serving in VISTA in Michigan. You just click VISTA, you do Michigan. If you know the program name that you are looking for, you can put that in, but you would just hit search. And this is an example of what comes up. These are going to be all of the programs that are currently accepting applications. On the next page, you will see what comes up. This is an example of a position description that you will see. You'll see more information about the specific program, including their daily tasks, accepting application dates, educational requirements, and the service area. Some of them will say that they're not accepting applications. They just have to simply update their listing at certain times. So there is contact information on the bottom right hand of the screen. That's going to be your contact information for that VISTA project. You can always call them and email them. They may have more opportunities available than what is listed on this. So it is a good idea to jot down all of the emails and phone numbers of the positions that you are interested in, because it does not hurt to reach out and ask questions. These are their next steps. They can email VISTA outreach at cns.gov. they can attend a workshop, or they can just submit their application. Obviously, I would be the recruiter for the entire state of Michigan. So students are more than welcome to email me. I hold office hours every Wednesday afternoon from noon until 4. For anyone that wants to talk to me about VISTA, students that want more information, maybe they can't work the site. The site is not very user friendly. In order to submit an application at the current time, they cannot do it from their cell phone. It has to be from a computer. So I know that does deter some students. Maybe they don't have a computer at home. They can go to the library, the public library, and apply, or they can get with a recruiter and we'll help them get through the process. So I usually don't talk a whole lot about this. But you can become a VISTA project in Michigan as well. Any private or public nonprofit, public agency, or tribal organization within the U.S. has a project concept designed to reduce poverty within a community may apply for a VISTA project grant. Common AmeriCorps VISTA projects include capacity building activities like recruiting volunteers, organizing resource development efforts, conducting outreach, writing training curriculum, developing policies and procedures, grant writing, developing marketing and marketing strategies, and securing community partners and buy-in. So in order to become a VISTA sponsor, there are 3 tasks you want to plan, apply, and implement. The planning involves working with potential project beneficiaries to determine what you want to accomplish, assigning supervisor responsibilities and workspace for your VISTAs, and thinking about how to recruit VISTA candidates. You want to apply includes 3 steps. You're going to submit a concept paper, a full application, and a memorandum of agreement with AmeriCorps. And then you're going to implement that VISTA project. You're going to have a startup, ongoing tasks, include how to recruit and to carry out project plans. It is important to note that VISTA is not a competitive grant. So AmeriCorps staff can provide technical assistance throughout the entire process. And in order to do that in Michigan, you want to email mi@cns.gov. If you have any ideas that you thought could have potential in your area, just email them and they will talk you through it. And that is all I have. If anybody has any questions.
Gabby, can you explain the difference between Peace Corps and AmeriCorps? Because you and I chatted about that briefly.
So everybody knows what Peace Corps is. So Peace Corps is basically the same thing. It is direct service. So they're not trying to build capacity, but Peace Corps is everywhere else. It's in other countries. It's where you go and you sign year and 2-year contracts. It gives you the same sort of benefits because during your year of service, you're going to get health insurance. There are childcare opportunities. There's all the things that if you join the Peace Corps, it's just Peace Corps is overseas. It's going to be in overseas where AmeriCorps sticks to what we need at our home base within the United States.
Okay. Do you have any examples of anything going on like in the city of Detroit or any VISTA projects you're aware of in our state?
I have an entire list. I just went through. So I can give you a ton of projects that are, there's Boys and Girls Club of Detroit. Michigan is actually one of those states that there's about to be several more. They're going through their process of starting a project. So like the city of Detroit within the mayor's office is starting a VISTA project. The YMCA of Metropolitan Detroit is starting a VISTA project. There are two places called Community Action Network and Community of Hearts, which are both in Detroit as well, that are starting projects. Each project has different, they're looking for different candidates. But if you're not staying within Vista, you know, you have like the American Red Cross, you have Habitat for Humanity, you have several different options. But I'd be more than happy to email you a list of all the different projects. That's what I do when I go to a career fair within a high school or a college. I take a list. I try to make it as easy as possible for students to look at a listing, click on it, not have to go through the entire search of AmeriCorps. I try to break it down by opportunities. There's veteran opportunities, there's education opportunities, and a lot of people have a focus area that they want to focus on. And so, or something that's going to build their resume so that when they do graduate college, they say that you're not supposed to be able to do Vista and be a full-time student. But let's be real, there's a lot of people that can do a full-time service, because full-time service is between 32 and 40 hours. And how many of us know someone that has gone to college at night, or they do all online classes? So it is something that students can do both, but the student has to be able to handle the responsibility, because their AmeriCorps project does come first. It is a full-time job, but there's tons of single moms that do in school at the same time as being a full-time mom. So it is a doable situation, but it is also going to depend on the candidate. A lot of candidates have to get part-time jobs. You know, $22,000 a year is not a lot of money. A lot of projects know that. They see that. They offer other benefits. Housing authorities sometimes give housing stipends, or you can live within their facilities. Detroit has a very large housing authority project, in which they do offer students a little bit of a living stipend besides what AmeriCorps offers. That project individually, projects in bigger cities will give bus passes. They will give, we have a project that sits on Michigan State University's campus, and they offer their students parts of meal plans that students can utilize, or those Vista members can utilize, because a university, you know, has those different opportunities. So it really depends on what project it is and what else they can offer, but a lot of projects offer added benefits.
Abby, this has been really interesting. Thank you so much. This is all completely new to me, and my wheels are just spinning. The biggest question that I have right now, thinking about my students and this, is what are the kind of career fields that students maybe would be interested in exploring or growing in as a part of the Vista service? I know you mentioned PR through Bowling Green. You know, from the look of what you're showing, it looks like maybe marketing would be one, but it seems like education as well. Can you just kind of touch on what might be appropriate?
So we have a little bit for almost everyone. But the ones that we see the most of, I just did a career fair with the Ivy League schools. And so that was a very interesting to see students that were graduating from Harvard that had no idea what they wanted to do with their lives, because it's just not what you know, like you expect out of things. Public relations is the biggest one. People that graduate with marketing degrees, people that choose education and then realize that they don't want to be in the classroom. People that graduate and they graduate in the fields of like government and criminology, and they don't want to go to law school. We have several of those that go in and do a Vista project to learn like the ins and outs of communities. There's like I said, there's one in Detroit, and there's a couple in Kentucky that do citywide projects that teach you how to be a city. It's helping you learn how to be a city leader. So things like, we have one that's a project within a mayor's office, and that VISTA member is his sidekick on growing a community. We have projects for like architecture students that, you know, they need a background in community like wide architecture. There are backgrounds in agriculture, because there are projects that are trying to alleviate hunger. So we have just a little bit of everything. It really is something that they can do a lot of research into projects or find their recruiter in their area to tailor down to what they are interested in. We can likely find a project that will give them the experience that they need, that when they go to apply for a job, then they're going to be a really good candidate, whether or not they chose to go to college.
Thank you so much.
Gabby, are you familiar with the Michigan College Access Network?
I am not.
Oh, I know their college advisors that get placed into high schools are affiliated with AmeriCorps as well. So that might not be a VISTA project, right?
Yeah, it's they probably have one. Every state has their state projects, so a lot of those projects fall under like the state side of it.
Gotcha. And then if someone wanted to start a VISTA project, like spearhead it, I know the person that just asked you the question, Shannon Kent, we work with early college students who are often looking for these types of experiences. Is it a full-time job for somebody who is spearheading a VISTA project in their community?
It depends. You get projects that don't know how to delegate. People want to like be the focus of the project. Once you get a project started though, if you have the capacity to have people that are working like the interview side of it or working like the supervisor side of it, it's doable. It just depends on how much capacity you have within your own network. But like I say, I am not by any means the person that you want to talk to about starting a project. I would email the Michigan at cns.gov. They will give you all of the information that you want in order to start a project. Vista's looking to expand their projects. So it's one of those, as long as you have followed their rules for like the concept paper and you really realize that you're not employing a VISTA member, you are building the capacity to work a project. They don't get denied very often. So, and it is a good opportunity to bring in funding a lot of the time for projects that you just can't quite get off the ground.
Wheels turning, Sarah Strohback.
Because I don't need anything else today. That's awesome. Anybody else in the room before we wrap up here? Definitely, I will email this PowerPoint to everybody in attendance. Gabby, I don't know if you have, like you said, you could run a list if that's possible. If it's something I could attach to an email just to send to all the participants.
Yeah, I'll send it over to you. Like I say, there's a ton of new projects that are starting and they don't quite have their information up. So it's something to check out often. But like I say, if you sitting inside of a high school need that information, just send me an email and say, hey, I'd like some flyers to have in my office, my contact cards, flyers just about AmeriCorps in general, not just on the VISTA side. we can send those out to you so that, you know, more people know that this is an opportunity, if school is not for them, or if they don't know what to do after school.
Gabby, thank you so much. This was very enlightening, I think, for all of us. I never really felt a strong presence or awareness, at least in my pocket of Michigan. So thank you so much for sharing this information. We will get your information out to, we had about 102 participants. I don't know if you were able to see that, but this is a great audience for you. And like I said, we have participants from all over the state of Michigan that tune in for this series. So we thank you so much. Hopefully you have a beautiful day in Oklahoma. We're looking at 80 degrees in Michigan, so we're excited.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Everybody, your password, I didn't forget, is community service. So the final password, I'll say it one more time, is community service. I also put it into the chat. So I will hold the meeting open till about 9:30. So Gabby, if you're ready to start your day, thank you again. And everybody, last time, the password is community service. Have a great day. Thank you, Gabby. Take care.
Hey, Sarah, quick question. When you do the passports, do you do your like personal address and information on there? The one that's linked to your MOEX?
It's the one that links, yeah, to your MOEX.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Just wanted to verify that.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Sarah, also,
Yeah.
we don't fill out the gray section, right?
The gray section. Nope, that's me. That's
You do that. Okay,
Yep,
that's what
yep.
I just want to confirm. Okay,
Yep.
thanks, Sarah.
You got it. You guys have an awesome summer.
You too. Did you see my message about, I talked to a couple of kids yesterday who thought it was awesome. They
Oh.
really,
I can't get
Loved.
enough of that because I was scared that we just weren't gonna have kids able to come. So it ended up being perfect. Thank you.
you're doing it again, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna schedule it for hopefully March.
I like the
Oh.
idea of March, Sarah, because
Yeah.
May is just so busy.
Yeah, when Shannon and I came up with it in January, we looked at the availability at the ISD and nothing was available. And I'm like, this is gonna be tough, but yep, we're all over it now. Now that we know it works.
Do you know if any ECM kids went?
Yeah, on Thursday night in the evening, yes,
Good.
they did come. They had resumes, they were dressed.
I did really push that for my students, so I hope some of them took advantage of it.
Yeah, they did. They were dressed very professionally and definitely were working the room. It was great.
Wouldn't this be a great thing, this AmeriCorps, for our college day
Oh,
for ECM?
they
I mean,
should be
it's so
there.
perfect, right? Because those
Mhm.
kids that don't know what to do, like that is a great gap year. you know,
Yes.
where you're doing something and not just like she said, working in retail or fast food.
I agree. I think it is an excellent idea. And like she said, you can balance it with full time, but you can also be a part-time college student
Right.
and work for this too. It doesn't have
Right.
to be a race to.
Yeah, I like that she mentioned that because I'm like, who's living on $22,000? If you're not living at home, how are you surviving on that?
Yeah,
That's not really
agreed.
a thing.
Keegan was there, Shannon. He
Oh,
came.
was he?
Yep. I actually pulled him over to the AmeriCorps table.
Oh,
I said,
did you? Good for
I did.
you.
yeah, yep.
You
yep.
would be great for that, for sure.
I
For
agree.
sure. Well, okay, Sarah, thank you. I lost, you sent me the password for the Maca thing and I have lost it. So
Yeah, we'll
I
talk.
apologize.
We'll talk
Okay.
off. We'll talk off
And
camera.
I will see you later. Okay.
Okay, bye. All right, those of you still on, again, the password was community service. So I will keep this up until 9:30 and look forward to getting your applications. You're welcome, Lisa. I appreciate that.